Like if you need some pretty logos and some signage and some things to help increase sales and get your message out there.
Maybe they need a life coach.
Yeah, if you need a life coach, come to Ari and I.
Olivia will be like, step number 1, you have to dye your hair.
I know.
Yeah.
My boys know this song now.
Oh, nice. Do they?
Yeah.
My daughter knows the song too.
It's another Friday. This week I did it my way. I made lots of juice, and now I feel a boost. Baby say, oh, it's the way I make my juice. Pressing fruits and roots. This week I did it my way. Baby say, oh, now let's have some fun. There is nothing greater than Fridays at Good Nature.
Ow, 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 ow. What's up, my juice lover? Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome to Good Nature Radio. This is your host, Charlie Whitloff.
Radio, Charlie?
Well,
Did
this
you
is it.
ever do this as a profession? Oh, okay.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
Sorry.
With my esteemed co-host, Chef Ari Sexner and Olivia Esquivel, the two most popular juice business consultants in the world. Unbelievable. Together, they are what I refer to as the dream team. And if you need help in your juice business, head over to goodnature.com/radio, and you can fill out a little form there. Get a free 30-minute call with the dream team and talk about what you need help with and see if there's an opportunity there to have the dream team help you make your dreams come true. No, I'm just spitballing here.
We're waiting for that call.
Yeah. Lines are open.
If you'd like to send us a voicemail to leave on the air, you can also do that at goodnature.com/radio. Or if you'd like to send us a question via email, do that at radio@goodnature.com. And we'll be happy to answer it for you live on the air. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, Facebook Good Nature Juicing on Facebook. Just go into the Facebook groups and search for Good Nature Juicing. It's a private group with over 4,000 members now. Unbelievable.
Juicy.
As long as you're nice, we'll let you in. As long as you're stay nice, we'll let you stay. And all right, so this week's episode, it's about marketing your juice business. Everything you ever needed to know about how to market a juice bar in 25 minutes or less.
Yes, I knew it. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what you need to think about when starting a juice business or trying to grow one, everything marketing related. So let's get into it. The way I think about marketing any local business is what you're trying to do is get people in your area into your store, right? And anything you do to get people into your store, you can consider marketing. So not necessarily just advertising or whatever, but going out there, interacting with the community, engaging with people, being in social media, of course, like your website and everything else, getting some nice PR going, all that stuff is marketing. And also even like what kind of products you put on your menu to attract people in your area. So we'll talk a little bit about everything. I guess the first thing you have to think about is in your local area, when you're developing your menu, Ari, maybe you can talk a little bit about sort of catering the menu to your local area.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the demographic is extremely important. In most cases, you're either in an area that is not familiar with juice or an area that is familiar with juice, and that aspect is extremely important when you're creating the menu. Especially with juices, you always want to have that range of flavor. But there's a lot of cool techniques in either case, experienced juicers or not experienced juicers or beginners, and some, for example, for people that are new to juicing is don't be too over the top, not ton of adaptogens, superfoods, because there's a fine line where you can cross over from a restaurant or a juice bar to a health food store, and it's really intimidating for the average person that's not familiar with juice. Also, what I found is vibrant, unnatural colors is like great for people new to juicing. It's kind of that weird thing where, and do it naturally, like the blue spirulina, it's vibrant blue. Someone that doesn't know what not familiar with juice, they'll love that, just something that's different, vibrant purple with possibly some cabbage or, even some charcoal. Those unnatural colors are great to get people new to juicing in the door, and you got that vibrant color. It's great marketing just by visually having that on display.
I do think that's one of the great things about juices. It is so vibrant. It's great for marketing material, mm-hmm. As out of touch investors say, it's very Instagrammable. So you should utilize that for sure. All right. So nowadays, let's be honest, local business marketing, almost all of it is social media, right, Olivia?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is obviously social media. And I think the most important thing about that is just staying consistent. I mean, one of the things I see a lot is that people just can't find their perfect voice, or they haven't found their perfect voice and they're scared to make a mistake. And I always tell them, like, any content is better than no content, right? So even if it's just, if you haven't posted, you should be posting every single day. Post in popular times during the day when people are usually on their phones scrolling. So like lunchtime, afternoon slump, 9, 10 a.m., right before dinner, right after dinner. Those are great times to post. But then also, like, just be really active in your stories. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just, grab a picture of a juice, take a picture and put it up and say something about the flavor or summer fresh or whatever it is that's kind of, whether it's a sale that you have going on. You just need to be talking to the audience, because if you're not posting, you're not showing up. So sometimes I see clients and I'm like, I haven't seen you post in like a week and a half. What do you, come on, like, let's talk to people. So that's really important for social media. But then I would also say, like, it really, like Ari says, depends on the demographic of your town. Like, a lot of my guests come in because they saw my sidewalk signs. I think it's really important for me. I'm not a chalkboard girl. I just think that gives it, it's not part of my brand. There are some brands that do it really, really well. But for me, I really like to have bright, colorful pictures outside and a nice A-frame sign talking, showing some variety of product, not just a juice, not just a smoothie, but I try to show maybe like 3 different food groups, a juice, a smoothie in a bowl or something like that, or a toast or a hot oatmeal or whatever it is that I'm sort of offering for those walk by traffic. So if you're a highly foot traffic area, then make sure you get some signage outside. And then, of course, as you're just starting to grow, showing up at markets, at other people's events, those are all great ways to really kind of get the word out there.
I think this is kind of basic, but I don't think it occurs to some people. You don't just automatically appear on Google Maps. You actually have to go on to Google and do that. So make sure you're going on to, I think it's called Google My Business. Yeah. They might have changed it to like Google Business Profile or something, but just go on, make sure you have a profile and put your business information. You can upload pictures, you can put the address, you can upload menu, you can do all that stuff. And that's how all of that appears on Google. So when someone searches juice bar near me, that you actually show up. Right. It's not just automatic. So
and likewise on Instagram too. Like, make sure you set yourself up as a location. So as people are taking pictures in your shop, which they will be, they can tag your location, and that your handle is a really good. Don't make it crazy. Make it really simple, like the name of your business. Just make sure that you're showing up in those places as well, so that people can tag you.
Right. And then speaking of Google, there's also local advertising you can do. through Google and Facebook and whatnot, where when people are searching for businesses in the area, you sort of pop up first.
Like geofencing?
Yeah. I mean,
I've
you can
done
pay.
some of that, yeah.
Was that successful for you?
It was, yeah. So geofencing is where you can work with, a lot of times they'll, when I work with them, they'll be like from your local magazine or your local newspaper. It's almost like an add-on service that those publications have started to offer, since, regular print is obviously on the decline.
Right.
But so I usually, talk to a rep from a local publication, and then they kind of come and explain to me how it works. But, you talk through sort of what your demographic is. Okay. It's, 21 to 55 years old, men and women above this income in these areas. And they can almost create, well, not almost, they do create a geo fence. And so as those people are like searching the weather or, on whatever CNN or Fox News or whatever they're on, they will see an ad show up for your juice business. And that's been really great for us, particularly like as different events come into town. Like we held the NCAA tournament. So, we were really active during that. And the good thing is it's relatively quick to switch out your ads per se. So I know that all kind of sounds, if you're not into it, it sounds like really complicated, but just see if there's anybody in your area or find someone in your area who does geofencing. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. You can put a limit on how much you're spending on that. But it has been successful for me, particularly when we open up a new shop and we're trying to let people in those neighborhoods know that we're there. It's been good for us.
I think Google even has like a little device you can put in your business. So it knows when people are near your store.
Oh, cool.
And will pop up on Google Maps and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Yeah, if you might want to search local business marketing in your area and see if there's anyone that specializes in it that can come help. I think that's a great idea. But definitely, you've got to be on social media.
Yeah,
you've got to be out there. And then, all right. So let's talk about PR a little bit, Olivia. I know you have a lot of past experience in this.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sort of my past life. And I talked about that at JuiceCon a couple years ago, and something that comes up a lot, particularly as New Year's comes around, as Valentine's and spring break comes around. I always tell people that, the difference between advertising and PR is that advertising is traditionally a paid advertising. It's a paid opportunity to talk about your brand. And PR, public relations, is really an editorial piece, or it's a piece that, you've pitched a story or they've come and asked you for a story, and it's typically free to participate. So like thinking about your local news or your local radio spot or something like that, it's a great opportunity to reach out to local correspondents, news correspondents, and just say, particularly as something is coming around like back to school, hey, I have a great story on back to school snacks for parents as they start to, be thinking about what to pack in lunch boxes. I mean, they're always like good news story hungry. And so just, developing a relationship with them. A lot of times I'll give them free juice or a free cleanse, and lo and behold, they'll come back to me in 2 or 3 months and say, hey, Olivia, can we do a story on, flu season is coming up. Can we do a story on natural ways to increase your immune system? Absolutely. Can we do something for Valentine's Day? So just always like making a relationship with high profile people in your town that get news out. And then, people will always ask about influencers. I don't do any paid cash for anything. Anything that we do for Southern Press Juicery we always do it on trade. So that's something that I would definitely kind of keep in your side pocket and offer that. So I don't pay for advertising. I don't pay for anything like that. Even influencers, if they have a really large following and I know them to have a positive reputation, then I'll comp them a cleanse or free bowls or whatever to have them talk about the product.
Yeah, influencers are a tricky one. I think.
Yeah.
It's probably much better to have one good influencer that you know personally and can communicate with a lot. I think it's an easy mistake to just be like, all right, I'm going to get influencers. You just offer to pay a bunch of influencers to post your product. It really doesn't do that much for you unless they're constantly engaging and
a lot
really
of
in love
times,
with your product.
yeah, a lot of times they'll just DM you and they'll say like, hey, I'm an influencer coming in town and, would love to, here's my feed, would love to. And I'm like, okay, well, you're coming in town. Like, you don't know anybody in my town. Like, I'm not trying to influence people in Minnesota, like, no, you're going to come by anyways because we're a cool spot. And that's the thing about being in a cool industry like juicing is a lot of times those people are going to be talking about your product anyways, because it is the trend and it is sexy on Instagram. And so some of that you just get for free, but find the ones that have a good following in your town. And, if they're well respected and they're good steward of their audience, then I would say, just give them a free cleanse or offer them a free BOGO date with their spouse or partner or whatever, and see if that works out well for you.
Stuff just seems like a full-time job, It's so tough for people. Like I was talking to someone the other day, when you run an operation, you got to be a master at like so many different things.
Yeah.
It's so challenging. I got to know finances, marketing, recipes, how to manage.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And that's something I'm going to start offering to clients as well through consulting, is helping them with their social media. I haven't done it yet just because we've been so busy on getting people on their feet with other services, but it's definitely something that if people are coming to us. So look for that in the future.
Cool. And I'd like to know, Olivia and Ari, have you seen any mistakes? Like, Olivia, what would be a big marketing mistake you've seen from your clients?
Okay. So one of the biggest thing I see is people get really excited when they first start and they pigeonhole themselves into a category. Because we know that category, like let's say all organic, 100% organic, is a selling point, and they go hard. And, that's something I always say. I'm like, figure out who you are and lean in. But I do worry sometimes when it's a new business, when they just go, we're 100% organic in glass bottles forever, like it's $7.99. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, like, are you married to a farmer? Like, where are we going to get the money from? So I would just say use words cautiously, like, and that's a mistake that I made. I started out 100% organic. I'm not 100% organic anymore because it's just not sustainable for my business. But sure, that was a pipe dream for me and something that I thought I was going to be able to sustain. So little by little, I've had to take down some of that signage in my store that said 100% organic, because we're not anymore. So, using words like plant-based or, really leaning into the local, vegan, raw, those sorts of things. I mean, if you know for certain for the rest of your life you're going to be 100% organic, then great, go for it. But if you're starting to realize that, you're not getting your bananas organic and you're not getting your avocados organic, or there's a couple things in the store that you just can't even source organically, forget the price, then just be really careful when you start using those terms, because somebody will call you out on it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, kind of. Yeah. Like your core values are so important to determine them early.
Yeah. Like
one of the first things you should do before you even think about your finances, or because the core values, you got to find what's going to stick out from the competition. What's going to make you different, but you got to be realistic about it. You should have 1 or 2 core values at most. I talk to people that have like 8 core values and they break their core value before even open the door. Yeah. It should be like 1 or 2 items. And that really helps with everything, determining the entire operation and make it so much more cohesive. Whereas if you kind of start changing as you go, even like your marketing changes so much, like even the style of pictures on social media and stuff, that kind of, develop your core values first, and that actually helps out with the marketing.
Yeah, and a core value really has to be a core value. It can't just be like, I saw one of my favorite restaurants do this week, so this is my new core value. And it's like, I was watching the Kardashian girls are at this other place in LA and they do this. So this is my new core value. It's like, you really got to have real core values.
Like, as an example, for me at Southern Pressed Juicery, I would say like, our 3 core values are, number 1 is hospitality. Like every single time, like we'll carry your order to your car. Oh my gosh, Olivia, I picked up the wrong juice. Can I switch it out? Yeah, come on by and I'll switch it out for you. Or the little kid dropped the smoothie. We'll make you another one. No, don't clean it up. I got it. Like hospitality is number one for us, even above the product. For me, that's never going to change. Whether I have to sell a smoothie at $15 or $5, we're never going to let go of our hospitality. That's number one for us. Number two is that we make everything fresh in-house. So, our almond milk, we make fresh in-house. Our granola, our bowls, we're not using scoopable things. They're seeing us. They're seeing us make our juice. I can't do all organic anymore, guys. I just can't do it. But I guarantee you that it's being made here. And then, we went HPP for a while. And so that was one of those things that came up in conversation. And so we had different labels for different things. And it was very clear what was made in-house and what was not made in-house. But, so we share our recipes. Like that's part of the made in-house thing and, things that you can get, just kind of spreading that knowledge. So that's, I think, what we're talking about when we're talking about core values instead of glass or, I sort of want to say all organic. It's just, we're just in such a crazy time right now that it's sometimes like what if we're not able to get something all organic anymore?
And
so what, you're just not going to offer it anymore?
I can't tell you how many times, look, I've toured a lot of people's juice bars and juice businesses and talked to them, and so many say we're all organic. But then when you actually ask them, they're like, unless we can't get something worganic, then we'll whatever. Right. We'll just, that's week we'll just use not organic. Like, oh, okay, so you're just lying to people then.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about is you don't really realize until you get deep into the business that there are just some things, one, that you're not able to from a price standpoint, and two, that are just not available, that are really important to your business. And so I'm not saying go all conventional on everything and don't respect the dirty dozen or anything like that, but just give yourself a little room to grow as your company and your business expands. I think that's all we're saying there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess vegan for a lot of people, that is definitely a real core value. Mm-hmm. If you're vegan, you want a vegan juice bar, great. But if you just want to appeal to vegans and non-vegans alike, I do think it's fine to have vegan items on a menu, for people that choose vegan products and are okay with eating somewhere that's not 100% vegan. Like you can still do that. You can still have organic items and vegan items and whatever, without making that a core value that you're only doing it this way.
Or if it's not really a core value to you.
Right.
Like all organic, like Olivia's all organic juice bar. Yeah. I put it up on a sticker on a vinyl on the wall, but I had to take that thing down, so just make sure it's given you're not pigeonholing yourself and putting yourself into a corner that you can't back out of.
Yeah. We should definitely do a topic on organic.
Yeah.
There's so many people that,
that would be so interesting, Chef.
Yeah. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like crop rotation and all of that.
Do you mean organic versus non-organic, or just like how, like what if someone labeling has to go through to be
the
organic?
Labeling, yeah.
Yeah, what you go through to be certified organic, and just claiming organic, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with the marketing, I think I agree 100%. Like the best marketing tactic is the best customer service. You know. Maybe not initially, but as soon as you get those customers and you give them great customer service, I think that's one of the best forms of marketing. Empowering your employees to be able to do those service recovery items. Yeah. Or understand like someone drops their smoothie to the car, you have the ability to replace it. Don't have to check with a manager.
Right.
Stuff like, even that affordable item. We were talking about a couple of weeks ago where, they got something at a very low price point so that someone can come in and feel welcome, or even like free offerings. Like you go to every coffee bar, they have treats for their dogs now. How awesome is that? Why can't juice bars
and how
have
easy
that,
is it to just put a bowl of water outside? I mean, one of the things too that like we pride ourselves on is wait times, but things happen, and sometimes you get behind the bar and you get killed. And so a lot of times, like, I'll tell my girls, like, look around. Oh, typically it's girls in the front, but I'll tell my associates, like, look around. Have you noticed that Ari has been standing there for 15 minutes? Ask him what ticket number he is. And if you don't know, pull him to the front. And by the way, go and grab him a free shot and tell him, Ari, I'm so sorry we got, behind today, but free shot on us. Thanks for showing us grace, and just a lot of times that'll go such a long way of like, I see you. I know you're waiting. I know we're behind and I know you're on your lunch break. I got you,
I know you're pissed. I know
you're pissed. Don't leave a review. Here's a free juice.
It's funny. Like, we're so ridiculous as humans. Like, we just want to know that that we've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, you just want to be seen.
That was a huge thing too. Remember when they had, I had a few clients that ran into the trap of, that order screen. You walk in, place your own order, run your own card, the order comes in, and they're like, oh, it's going to be amazing. We're going to save so much labor. It's always gone horribly,
Yeah.
Really?
Just because they're like, I hate it. There's no interaction.
Yeah, there's no touch points.
God, it feels weird. And I've noticed now with Uber Eats and everything, it's not enjoyable to go in some cafes. Like, say you go into like a Starbucks and those people are just getting the online orders, just cranking away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're making like 100 orders. You just feel like it's a factory now. There's like the hospitality element is gone. It's like order on the screen, order on your phone, pick it up over here and get out. It's definitely a different feel now than it used to be. And I think the hospitality aspect has gone downhill with a lot of the new sort of digital ordering and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why, like Chef said, it's so important to know like what you're going to be that's different than your competitors. And right now, that's what it is. Like when I'm on the line and a guest walks in, like let's say it's Ari, and it's your neighborhood juice bar, so you typically know your people. For the most part, 75% of your people. And I know, oh man, like I'm not going to get to him for 20 minutes. I can see the line. I can see the tickets in front of him, but I'll look up and I'll say, hey, Ari, butter me up today. I got you. And other thing is like having the ability to kind of help that hospitality, like asking as people are in line, hey, what are you going to get? Okay, she's going to get the same smoothie that I'm already making. I'll go ahead and double it up. So having that conversation and that hospitality element actually helps with efficiency because you can sort of see what's coming as you're having conversations. So we kind of skewed away from marketing, but I do think like for me, that's the most important part of my business is the hospitality part.
Yeah. And the communication from front and the back of the house.
Yes.
Really sets it to another level. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was, I did room service for a little bit and we would have customers come in and we'd hear certain allergies and we'd prepare products that they might have like gluten-free, when that first started coming out with the celiac disease. And we used to make like special meals for them, that was like entire rolls and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, those people would, you provide that for someone and like you see them emotionally like attached to your operation. People cry and all sorts of stuff. It's in good, happy
Ari,
terms.
Ari, you're starting to cry a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Just talking about
it. It's so much, man. It's so much. I can't.
I will say if you go to a restaurant where you either know the chef or the chef comes out and talks to you or the host is really friendly, it makes the experience better. It makes the food taste better. Like you'll hear someone say, oh, the best restaurant in the whole city is this restaurant. Almost 100% of the time, if they say something like that, it's because they know somebody there, and it's like they have such a good time over there because they feel the hospitality element of being there. So yeah, if I walk in and Olivia comes up and greets me and says it's nice to see me stuff, that's going to make the smoothie taste better in a kind of a weird way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that's hard about being an owner-operator is like a lot of times clients will be like, Olivia, I can't be in the juice bar all the time. And I'm like, I know, dude, me either. And you just have to know that like you can train your people as well as you can, but nobody is going to sell as much as you do. So sometimes I sit in my juice bar and I just do admin work in there, even though I know I would get it done twice as fast at home, but people just need to see you. They just need to know that you're there, that you're looking over the place, things run smoothly. Hey, how you doing? Like just those little touch points really help, and it helps staff too. So, that was one of the things that was hard for me about the Charlotte location, was that it was too far away from me. But I had a manager that she really became the me. She was the one that people were there for. And so I think that's really important, to have somebody in your business that is the face of the business, that people rely on. They know they can come to you if there's been a problem, and that they just start building a relationship with them. That's really the best way to market. That's it. That's the whole podcast. Just be nice.
Marketing is great service.
See?
No, I think it's great. A lot of times we have these discussions that start off at one place and end at another, but I think it's a really good point that before you start marketing, you need to know what your core values are.
Yeah.
And what better core value than just providing great hospitality when you're in a hospitality business?
Yeah.
I mean, seems simple.
Yep.
But I remember there's this manager he's a hotel manager at the Wynn Casino in Las Vegas. And he said, our goal here at the Wynn is if you come in, spend all your money, and then say thank you when you leave because you had such a great time.
Yeah. That's a good goal.
Yeah. It's like you can provide great hospitality.
Yeah.
And be profitable. It's not mutually exclusive. And I think if you can master both of those things, and that's what makes a great business.
I think I'm going to change my tagline to that.
Yeah. I used to work there. I mean, we would have at the Wynn, I remember there was people that would just come in and order just a random dish, at a restaurant, and yeah, no problem. It's like,
what do you mean? You mean something that's not on the menu?
Oh yeah. They wouldn't even look at the menu. They just name something random and we would make it. So that was fun.
Nice. I like it. Okay. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you guys. By the way, we are back to weekly podcasts now. So people listening, you'll enjoy our voices every Friday as we're meant to be.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say, like, if you need more hard deliverables in terms of like marketing in the traditional sense of like, I need logos or I need signs for my store, I do that on behalf of Good Nature through consulting. So if you need some more, like, other than just being a nice person, like if you need some pretty logos and some signage and some things to help increase sales and get your message out there.
Maybe they need a life coach.
Yeah, if you need a life coach, come to Ari and I.
Olivia will be like, step number 1, you have to dye your hair.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you need a creative menu, definitely Chef Ari. And if you need to learn how to talk about it and what images to use and what, buzzwords really help sell, then we're the team for you. The dream team.
The dream team. All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
It's another Friday. This week I did it my way. I made lots of juice, and now I feel a boost. Baby say, oh, it's the way I make my juice. Pressing fruits and roots. This week I did it my way. Baby say, oh, now let's have some fun. There is nothing greater than Fridays at Good Nature.